Now, this is a quick video on how we signed one of our biggest clients, leading to enterprise partnerships. And this is a very early staged AI service agency. So exactly how we managed to do it. And now this is going to be a little bit different to what normal AI gurus really talk about, like not using cold email and stuff like this. We had a very unique approach and it led to so many different connections. So in the last video, I spoke about exactly the three best methods I would recommend if you were starting an AI service agency on exactly how to get clients, something which no one really talks about. And I go through that in this three-stage approach, so check that out. However, this video is all about how we actually managed to sign one of our biggest clients. So first of all, we used the event method, which I spoke about before. And if you haven't heard about that, basically we went to loads of events in London in our niche. So we were in cybersecurity. So for this event was just a broad AI event in London. There are tons of these events and you can find them by just searching Google or Perplexity and it'll tell you the biggest ones in your local area. Then we did something called the interview method. So that's stage 3 of the last video. However, the interview method here, basically we set up a camera, we got some mics, and we just interviewed people who are walking through this event, people who are either industry leaders or people who just seemed interesting. And we just asked them loads of different questions about what was your opinions on AI? Do you think AI would replace your job? Just like sort of interesting videos to get short form content. Now we use this to basically get content on our LinkedIn. However, this was even more valuable for the connections we met. So therefore we met some really interesting people and that led for them and us to just start a conversation. They asked after the interview, what exactly do you do? And then we gave them a little short sentence on what we did based on the answers that they gave us, basically. If they were working with enterprise funds, we were like, okay, we actually help enterprise funds integrate AI into their systems based on some of our projects. And we just sort of gave a little overview of what we did, tailoring it to exactly what they did. Now, it was super critical that we did this stage first, because this stage allowed us to find what their biggest pain points were, what they were looking for, and then we answered our questions accordingly. Now, this is one of the most important sales techniques which I've learnt, which is around consultative sales. Let me write that in big letters here, consultative sales. So we just asked as many questions as possible. We found out, is there any way AI could help them, and is there any way we could help them? And then it linked to what their biggest pain point was. And since they were dealing with these large enterprise clients, they knew very well what they were facing, what struggles. And then we basically, one of the largest things was this security compliance side of it. And that's something which a lot of people don't really talk about in AI, which is around prompt injecting, which is basically malicious prompt engineering, stuff like only certain people can ask for certain information to this AI chatbot. And basically, we started understanding what kind of stuff these enterprise companies were struggling with. And therefore, we went out and we did a lot of research and we actually built out a team to tackle this exact pain point which enterprise funds were struggling with. And now, specifically myself, I don't specialize in this. However, I knew people who did specialize in this through meeting other people at events. So basically meeting people who specialized in one area and then meeting people who had pain points and then connecting the two. Now, we actually got them part of our team and we started working together and we started building out some big projects together. This conversation allowed us to have an exploratory call with them at a later date. So they were very curious about what we did and they would love to see some of our stuff. So then we tailored and created a bit of presentations, a bit of a demo specifically for them. While they didn't expect anything on the call, we created a little demo for the exact pain points they were experiencing for their enterprise clients. And then that allowed us to get in the door with them, provide them with so much free value, show that this is possible by building out the team which specializes in security. And then that got them very, very curious and opened up a much deeper conversation. That got us speaking with their CEO of their company, connecting some of the biggest enterprise companies together. This key point I want to accentuate about building this demo for them, basically without them even asking, providing so much value on the first call, basically allowed us to build immediate rapport. And since we already knew what their pain points were, we could establish value based on what they said around security. So we built the team which did this. And then when we actually got on the call with them, they were super impressed by actually what we'd built out for them. Now, this is what a key principle is around consultative sales. So you want to not sell to them, you want to help them out. And then if that then results in a partnership, then so be it. But you want to provide as much value and help people. You don't want to trick people into just buying due to manipulative words, for example. So then we built out something for them. They had many different use cases. So we built out, actually, after the first call, we built out some demos, some proof of concepts for what they would like. And then for these proof of concepts, that just showed their value. And then eventually when they had a contract with this enterprise client, we were the first one they would come to, basically to build out this full AI system, which integrated a lot of security and compliance to allow it to have long-lasting effects and to actually allow it to be used by thousands of people. So that's just a quick synopsis of how we managed to sign this big enterprise client through the event method. So that just goes to show that getting yourself out there, making as many touch points as possible, connecting with people on a humanistic level, and then providing as much value for free is what allowed us to create these deals. So that's just a little bit about the background, a little bit about what we built out, how we built out. And this is just a very quick story about our process, how we managed to land one of these clients. And this was all without any cold email, just by getting out there, speaking with people, and then being proactive around creating the value. And this was all around AI service. So if you want to find out a bit more about the AI service method, then please feel free to subscribe to the free newsletter in the description, which just covers a little bit about the technical side of it, and then watch some of our other videos talking about what this AI service method is and what do we really do for our clients. And if you can learn from it and apply these methods, then I'm sure that you can replicate our success and grow together. This is a little quick documentation of the journey. I was basically framing this to myself a year ago. So I hope this was of some value. And thank you so much. Please leave a comment in the description and have an amazing day.